Batch processing. Hi guys, actions are of course a cool thing, and they allow you to greatly speed up the image editing process. But there is something else. Let's say you need to process not 5 or 10, but maybe 100 or even 1000 or few thousands images. And in this case, even the action will not make your work efficient enough. But in this case, Photoshop has invented batch image processing, and now we'll get acquainted with it. Let's say you have a series of images taken in the same style. Perhaps you are a photographer or you are a designer and have received a series of images to form a catalog. And here are all these images. There are a lot of them. You need to process in the same style. In this case, you must first create an action and then apply batch processing. Now we will take photos of these girls. Of course, it can be absolutely any number, even 100,000, if you have enough space on your computer. And we will try to process them simultaneously with the help of an action. I will show you two ways today. Now we will consider the first one. We will choose some girls. We will open it. Although it wasn't necessarily to open it. We will go into the file, select the script and select the image processor. Then we select the parameters we need. To begin with, we choose to use open images or include all subfolders. If you have any other subfolders that you need to use, then in this case, yes, you should check the box. And we'll simply select the folder in which we have the images that we'll process. So here is my folder. I choose a portrait of a woman. Here it is selected. Let's move on. This operation allows us to save the image in the same place. This means that another folder with a name will be created inside your folder. For example, if we save, and new images will be placed there. Or we can choose some other folder. In this case, we choose the location where our files will be saved, a pre-created folder, and then the images will be saved there after processing. But I will leave the save in the same location, so as not to create too many folders. Next, we choose the file type when we work in Photoshop. Most likely, after we have created the action, our file will be in PSD format, and in principle, we can save it in the same format. But if we need to save in JPEG, then we can do it right away, or we can save as a TIFF. Let me remind you that TIFF files don't lose their quality. So, we have chosen the folder we'll work with, and we have chosen where the images will be saved after processing. We have chosen the format in which they will be saved, and now we choose the operation that we will perform. If you click here, then you can choose either actions that you created yourself or downloaded from somewhere, or choose, for example, operations or effects for images that go by default. I hope you still remember, we looked at them once. I will choose them and choose horizontal fading. Well, of course, you choose what you like. By the way, I also forgot to say, if you check the box, change the size, then we can also set the image size in height and width. So everything is ready, and I click run. Now the photo editing process has started. Let's go into the folder and see what happened. So we have a folder, a woman portrait. We are going to click on it now and look. A folder called JPEG really appeared in it, and there are photos that we processed. This is how they look after processing. Let's still see how these images look closer, so that we know how this effect looks like. And now we'll look at another way that allows you to do the same thing, but with a slightly different action. I have a series of portraits, and let's make them black and white using batch processing. There is one feature in the operation that we will use now. It is absolutely necessary to register the saving and closing of the document. We need to do it so that during photo processing, Photoshop doesn't ask you after each photo about saving it, and so that after completing everything that needed to be done, the photo is closed. Let's create a simple action in order to see how it will look. So, we will make this photo black and white. We need to create a new action. Therefore, I am now clicking on this icon. I will create a new operation. Then we'll desaturate the photo with a Shift plus Ctrl plus U. Well, let's have something bigger. Let's apply curves. I won't bother now with the adjustment layer. I just correct it a little. Well, let's say like this. In principle, it's not important for us now to have a special effect. We just need the process itself. After that, we save, select Save the file, choose some place to save it, and close our file. Be sure to close the file. After that, you see, in our operation there is both save and close. we click the stop recording icon, and now we will proceed directly to batch processing. I have opened the photo, and now we will proceed to batch processing of remaining photos. To do this, we'll go to the file, Automate, and select Batch Processing. Next, we select the set in which we have our operation. Somehow it got into such a set, but it doesn't matter. In principle, I have it active now. So the computer immediately determined that this is an operation in the black and white. Now select the source. We have this folder. There may be other operations. Select the desired folder. Next we have several parameters. Override action open commands. We don't check the box, because we don't have such a command now in our list of commands for our operation. We don't have any subfolders. Suppress file open options dialogs. This applies to processing of raw files, because when you work with them, an additional dialog pops up in the window, and so that this doesn't happen. You can check this box. Well, we don't have a raw file. Suppress color profile warnings. This has to do with all floating windows regarding the mismatch of color profiles. Of course, it's better to know about errors right away. Therefore, we set stop for errors. That is, we have now chosen where we take our image from. Now we choose where we'll save the result. The same thing. Select the folder that you need. So, it is selected. Next, we check the override action, save as comments. It must be done because that's how Photoshop understands that we need to save to the location we specified. And if you don't check the box, then after processing each document, the software will ask you to save. Below we leave everything as you see, and click OK. So we started processing. Our photos flashed by, and soon they will be ready. It's all. We open the folder we created, and here they are, in all their glory, the photos processed by us. So there are two ways to quickly process many images in Photoshop. You can choose the method that you like best. Of course, you can choose any action that you like, not necessarily black and white, not necessarily the same as we used on the girl, but the ones that you like best. It was Peter Romanov and AIM School. See you next time.